So we've added mixed numbers. Now we're also going to subtract mixed numbers. So subtracting mixed numbers, same process. We're going to use our four-corner model. Okay. We do not have a common denominator. If we did, it would be so much easier, but we don't. So find your multiples of your denominators. Multiples of 4. 4, 8, 12, 16, 20. Okay, multiples of 3. 3, 6, 9, 12. Ooh, look, 12. All right, so we're going to rename it. Remember to have your first number, your bigger number is always going to be the first one listed. It's going to be the one on top whenever we rewrite it vertically. Okay, we can't just flip-flop it because one fraction is bigger. This whole number is bigger than this whole number, so this is the number that we're subtracting from. Okay, it's going to be a little bit more important whenever we get into when fractions are smaller. Okay, so we rename it. 4 times what is 12? 4 times 3, so we multiply the same by the top. 9. 3 times what is 12? Well, 3 times 4, so 1 times 4 is 4. Okay, so now we ask ourselves, can we take 4 away from 9? Yes. 9 minus 4 is 5 twelfths. All right, now we have 4 minus 2. 4 minus 2 is 2. Okay, so my answer is 2 and 5 twelfths. Okay, always check to see if it's simplified, you can simplify it. This one is in simplest form, so we don't have to. Now, pardon me, what if we get to a problem where we have to subtract a fraction and my fraction is smaller. Okay, so we're going to do the same thing. I'm just going to kind of breeze through this part. So finding my common denominator is 8. Okay, so now we have 4 and 1/2 minus 2 and 3/4. So my new fraction is going to be 2/4. Okay, now this is the tricky part for subtraction. It is not possible to take away 3/4 from 2/4. You can't. You only have 2 portions. Okay, so if I draw a picture over here, I only have 2/4. Okay, like if I was showing you this model, 1, 2, 3, 4. There's 4 holes and 2/4, and I want to take away 2 and 3/4. Pardon me. Not possible. So this is the tricky part. We have to borrow. Okay, just like if we were taking the ones place and subtracting and we had to go over the tens place, same thing, same process, except here we have a fractional part. Okay, so I'm going to borrow 1 whole. So if I took away 1 whole, I have 3. Now I have 3 holes. Okay, but instead of it being a 10, you're going to borrow and cut it up into fractional parts. So if we are talking about fourths, then I'm going to cut one of those holes into 4. Now it's easier to see with a picture, but numerically you have to say, okay, 4 plus whatever you had here, 4 plus 2. Now I have 6/4. Okay, look over here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6/4. Now can you take away 3/4? Yes. I'm going to write it over here so I can subtract a little bit better. 6 minus 3, 3/4. Now, I didn't have 4 anymore because I had to cut that piece up, right? So 3 minus 2, is that possible? Yes, 3 minus 2 is 1. So I'm left with 1 and 3/4. And if you want to draw the picture and just mark them out, you can, but remember, pictures aren't always super handy. 1, 2, 3, and I take away 2 holes. So I'm left with 1 hole and 1, 2, 3/4. Okay. Remember, the models aren't always handy because we have bigger numbers and sometimes the fractions aren't easy to cut up. But borrowing when we subtract, that's the tricky part. So we have to be very, very careful whenever we do that. Hope this helps.